We are live.
Hello, welcome to Hack Chats. I'm your host, Art Thibert. Welcome. And I have a impressive 30-year career as mostly an inker, but penciler and writer as well for Marvel, DC. I've worked on a bunch of titles in the past, Spider-Man, X-Men, Cable, Superman, but that's old news. Let me introduce Taylor Grasso, and then we can get into the angry subject matter that we're faced with today.
Hi everybody, welcome to Hacks Chat. I'll be reading your chats today.
Isn't she lovely? Well, you're not just going to be reading though. We're going to be going back and forth because it's not a it's an okay day, but it's also not a happy day.
It was an unexpected day.
Yeah, the drama's been going on for a couple days, but it's finally kind of, I think it reached its pinnacle last night. So we've been, maybe we should start with the positive. We're 3 days away from Indiegogo going live with Black and White Remastered. So we're really, really happy about that. So if you guys could please spread the word, let's build, the energy to kind of fund this thing, fund it quickly. I can't wait to get it funded so we can, progress on the book and get it done and get it out to you guys. That's my biggest goal and dream right now.
Mark it on your calendar this Thursday.
Yes, Thursday. What is Thursday? What date is that?
It is the 13th.
The 13th. That's also my wife's birthday, so it'll be extra special. So you guys get out and make my wife happy with some book sales. So yeah, so we're really happy about the countdown. A little nervous too because I don't know. You never know what's going to happen. So we just need some funds so we can make this book, a reality. So anyway, should we get into it, Taylor? Should we just go for it?
Should we save the other thing we're going to show them for after, so there's a lighter note, or should we show them now?
You know what? Let's tease the other. We have something really cool we want to share with you guys, but we'll bring that back up after we start venting our frustration for the last, I don't know, since this thing's begun, right? Since we started this whole Black and White venture, which has been how many? 2-3 months maybe we've been working?
I would say about 3 months, and there's been obstacles every step of the way.
And what's the main obstacles, Taylor?
The main obstacle right now, or the main obstacle overall, because they're all the same?
That have overall been here.
Ever since we started this project, and we've been working like 24 hours a day on this, there's been one variable that has always thrown a monkey wrench in everything we do, and that is who is going to color the book.
It's a very colorful monkey wrench. It's brightly colored, and sometimes that becomes a problem as well. But go ahead.
Yeah, we've been through a number of colorists since we've started, and if you've been following this project, you've probably made note of that, because I think we've showed a lot of the color pages by now, and I'm sure you guys have picked up that there's been a couple different people doing these pieces.
You know what? There's been so many colors that have been attached to this in the last 3 months. I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to remember them, and I'm not sure if we should name names.
I don't know. Should we name names?
I don't know. I'm so frustrated. I'm so upset with a lot of this stuff.
Not all of them were bad parting ways. Some of them just didn't really understand the project, I guess.
Yeah, the most recent one, I think, was the bad one.
The chat wants us to name names.
Okay. Well, what names? Just make up some names and we'll say those. Okay, so, maybe we should just fill everybody in on the detail.
Let's talk about the most recent development.
Well, you want to start from the front?
Or should
Oh,
we
we're
start
going
from
to
the very
Tarantino this.
beginning?
We're gonna Pulp Fiction this. Is that what you're thinking? We'll start at the beginning and go back, or do you want to go from the front?
Let's just go from the front.
All right, wait. Let's go to the chat. What do you guys want to see? You want to see
People want Kyle Ritter to color the book is what they want.
Well, you know, Kyle Ritter is part of this story. Believe it or not, this epic tale has just begun. Okay, do you guys want to see it from the beginning to right now, or do you want to see it from like us Tarantino Pulp Fiction it from what's happened last night to the past?
Last night is the worst of it.
Yeah.
So
you want us to ease into it? You know what? Let's just, well, I don't know. Let's wait.
We could just name off a bunch of the ones we've worked with. And
Well,
let me just count in my head how many we've had. Over 5.
I was gonna say at least 5. But are you bringing in like, was it Alejandro or Alex from Brazil?
Oh, that's right.
And then we had, oh my gosh, what was the
Okay,
guy?
the very first one we had Nanjan.
Yeah, but who followed Nan? There was an.
I don't remember.
There may be.
Romulo?
No. There may be 6 or 7 guys.
We had one really good guy that started Nanjan, and he's the one that colored the Red Sonja piece you did, right? Or is that where?
Yeah. I did a Red Sonja cover for Dynamite, and he colored that, and he colored a couple other pieces of mine, and I absolutely fell in love with him. Mike S. Miller turned me on to Nanjan, and he colors a lot of, I think, the Mike Print series of the what's the video game?
Oh, Overwatch?
Overwatch, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really good. He was our first colorist, and then there was someone after that, and I cannot remember who it was.
Yeah, but Nanjan was amazing. He did one amazing page, and he did it at the price that, you know, because we were originally going to kickstart this, so we had to, because we didn't think the sales were going to be that good. We actually have a lot more hope now going through Indiegogo and connected with, you know, Ethan and Mike Miller and Mitch Brotweiser and all those guys. They have an incredible template, and they're helping us kind of fit into that template. So once that happened, we could start thinking about colorists that we could pay more and maybe more name colorists. But we were willing to pay Nanjan good money, especially the work that he was doing.
He was very, very good.
Oh my gosh, there's one piece, it'll be part of the campaign, because we're going to have to do a mishmash of color work for the campaign, for the Indiegogo page, because we just don't have anything now, because like I said, we kind of got burned by yet another colorist. But to back up again, he did one great page, and then he did 2 more pages that were just not even close to being the same quality level as the one page.
And style-wise, they were just off. They didn't match. It was really strange.
It looked like it was still colored by him, but it just wasn't. There wasn't as much love and attention to detail. So there's no way we could really work with him. And also, there was a major language barrier there. Oh, he's from India or something, right? It wasn't Brazil.
He's from somewhere else. Yeah,
like
we worked with a Brazilian guy after him. I think,
yeah.
I'm thinking. I cannot remember that guy's name, unfortunately.
Yeah. So anyway, we ended up having to part ways with him, and it wasn't because he didn't do good work or couldn't do good work. It just he couldn't do consistently good work. But that piece was brilliant, and you'll see it. It'll be up on the Indiegogo page.
We use it in the video too. It's a great piece.
Yeah, just because we don't have we have a mishmash of colors from a lot of different people. And so then, yeah, like you said, the next guy was a Brazilian.
Unfortunately, I cannot remember.
I can't remember his name. He was short-lived. He did one piece that it was decent, but it wasn't great. And so then, who was the next?
We had a
guy?
DeviantArt person before the one we ended up going with. Who did like a couple samples and they weren't very good. I can't remember who that was.
So now I'm going to start writing this down. So that's
we're at 3. Yeah, there was the DeviantArt person.
So we're at 3 people now, 3 colorists. This is already insane, but it gets worse.
Then we had Was that when we picked Rain? Because we had Ulf.
No, it was Hulse Blood. And Hulse Blood, if you're listening, I know you tune in every once in a while. I just want to publicly apologize. I really dropped the ball with you, and I did not get back to you in a timely fashion. There was a lot of personal things going on around here, and there was a lot of business stuff going on. So you fell the wayside, and I know that's not very professional, but you got a public apology right now. And I did send you an email as well, and we'll send you a kill fee for the work that you had done. But Hulse Blood was also a Deviant Art guy.
Art found him on DeviantArt. You kind of scouted him out, and he was the colorist we ended up going with for the most pages, I would say. Oh my gosh, I forgot about Sean Ellery.
Oh yeah, Sean Ellery was before that.
Sean Ellery was before that.
Sean Ellery's a brilliant colorist. Check out his Deviant. He's really, really good, but we just couldn't keep the consistency level up. He also did, I think he did one brilliant page, and then he did 2 pages after that were pretty good, but each one of those pages kept tapering off as far as level of work and detail.
He kind of admitted he had like time constraints or something too. Wasn't like he couldn't devote to the project or something.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a good friend. It just didn't work. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. So let me get an image back. Yeah. So
that brings up to 4.
Maybe we could click this and just go with the icon. Can we do that? Oh no, it's the icon of me.
Oh, we have a live feed right now. We're not in Google Hangout.
Oh, we're not in Google Hangout. Yeah, so we'll have to keep this graphic up. So he did a great job, and I wish he could have done the whole book because it was great stuff. But I think he needed more time, and he just couldn't prioritize the amount of time that it needed to bring the thing up to a good, or a great level, which is what Taylor and I wanted it to be at. So that was sad, and then now we're up to Hulse Blood
now. So that's 4 people. And then we found Ulf Blood, who
go ahead.
He did like the most pages, I think, of anyone.
He did a great job, but there was just, it just wasn't quite singing. It just wasn't as I don't know, as mind-blowing as we wanted it to be, but it was really, really good. So we ended up kind of looking for somebody else. And like I said, Hulse Blood, if you're listening, I am so sorry the way I dealt with that, and you will get a kill fee. But he did some amazing work, and some of it's up on the Black and White Facebook page, so you can see that. And I think maybe some of the pages are in the Indiegogo campaign too.
They made it, and I think this was actually his first like comic book work too.
Yeah. So there's one thing, I like to take a chance on new talent, and we definitely were with him, and he did do a great job, but it just wasn't quite what we needed. The magic just wasn't quite there. And Taylor and I were doing a lot of work. We were kind of going in there and changing and augmenting and kind of trying to bring it up. But nothing against him, but it just, we were taking a chance with new talent there. So then who else did we have after that?
Then
wait, are we up to 4 now?
I think we're up to 5 actually.
We're up to 5, yeah.
So those are 5 colorists that we ended up not
this
being
epic
able to
tale
use.
has just begun.
And then we contacted Rain, or was it, there was somebody else.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
There was someone we had really high hopes for who did really good work, and then when they...
Oh no, before Rain there was
Romulo?
a Brazilian. No, it was that Alejandro,
yes,
the Alex guy, and he was Brazilian, and we saw his samples, and there were a couple pages that looked like they would be exactly what we were looking for, and so we gave him notes, and we told him this is kind of what we were looking for, and my gosh, what we got back was something totally different.
Not to be shady, but he totally ignored like all of our notes. Like there was it was really funky. The color wasn't, it was executed very professionally, but the colors were all kind of wrong on the characters, and it was very strange.
Yeah, it was horrible actually. They look like a color scheme for a horror comic or something.
Lots of purples and
Oh, just an aside. There was a page that was always the test, remember?
yes.
And it broke everybody.
Yes, there was one particular page. I think we sent it to every colorist, all 5 of them.
Page 6.
And yeah, it's page 6, and it's a splash, a beautiful splash that like Art slaved on to redo, and it's Whitney's face, like a close-up, nice shot of her face, like a good character establishing shot.
It's one of the new pages for the Indiegogo remastered book.
Oh my gosh. Every single colorist. Some of them did something along the same lines of each other, but they were all uniquely really not good.
Yeah.
And not, even if they were like executed, I'm not saying like, they did a bad job like on a technical level. It's just the color choices and everything. For some reason, no one could nail that page.
Even when we tried to art direct it and narrow the focus, it just wasn't, it wasn't good. So yeah, page 6, when you guys see that in the book, know that was the test for every colorist, and it broke everybody so far. Everybody has failed that test. I'm hoping the guy that we got now will not fail, but he's really, really good, and I've known him for a long time, and we'll tell you, but we still have to tell this epic tale. So are we still at 5 or are we at 6?
6.
Okay.
Then,
six people.
Yeah, that's 6 colorists.
Keep in mind, every one of these discussions and stuff and things, they went on for days and even weeks. The one Brazilian guy that gave us the horror colors, that guy said he was busy with his schedule and he couldn't get to it for a week. So we so liked his sample that we gave him a week. The whole thing stagnated for a week while we were waiting for this guy. And yeah, then he gave us the horror colors. So yeah, just keep in mind, now 6 people, this is probably the span of 2 months.
Yeah, we dedicated a lot of time to trying to find the right colors and trying to give every coach that worked with like the right amount of lead time. And because of that, we got kind of less and less lead time for the next colorist, because we always planned on like, the next one being the last, and it just never really worked out that way, unfortunately. And everybody in the chat, there's a lot of people in the chat art that are saying to just make the book black and white because it fits in theme. We talked about that. Like, that isn't something that we overlooked or anything.
I like black and white comics personally.
I do too.
Yeah. If you guys want it, keep writing, keep cheering for it, and throughout the campaign, because we might do it as a stretch goal, or we might actually just make it one of the tiers. If it funds high enough and we get what we need to do the actual color version, then maybe we could do like a remastered, just black and white version.
Comic Book Bob says, we're getting conflicting now, because Comic Book Bob said no color, just like shading, but then right after Ortiz said no color, so they're torn.
Well, that's why, because I remember this was years and years ago, 25 years ago, when we did the initial black and white 3-issue series, and then a year later we were going to do the ongoing, and the numbers, like the industry kind of just folded and crumbled in a year. So the numbers of what we thought we were going to do a year later had just, I think it was less than half of what they were the year prior. And so one of the ways that we were talking about making the series work is to do it in black and white. But black and white comics traditionally don't sell what color comics do. So we kind of talked ourselves out of doing a black and white comic. But it's kind of always been something we've been playing with, my wife and I, and now with Taylor, on a possible way to go. So maybe, I don't know,
Eric wants to know who's lettering the book. Let's try not to get derailed too much, but do you want to answer that?
Yeah, we mentioned it on another video, but it's my pal Jeff Eckleberry, and I'm so glad that he came in the 11th hour and volunteered his services. He does the lettering for Cry for Dawn and a lot of other indie books. But he's been doing this for, decades now, and he's really, really good. And I work well with him, and he's a very talented guy. So Jeff Eckelberry will do the lettering on the book. So then, are we still at 6?
Our letterer stuck with us.
Yeah.
Yes, we are at 6, I believe.
So 6 was what? What was 6?
6 was that guy we waited for from Brazil.
With the horror comics coloring.
Yeah, and then we had...
But keep in mind, we were kind of keeping Hulk's blood in the whole time, so he was still doing pages for us while this was going on, because he was still our best hope, because the stuff was still amazing. It was really, really good. So he was still, because we just didn't want to lose time, so he was still on board during all this. So we're still art directing and working with Hulk's blood just to complicate this whole thing.
When App wants to know if page 6 is going to break the letterer too.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. It's pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of sound effects.
Yeah, I don't
stuff.
think we'll have to worry about that. We're still worried about any colors that works on page 6, as it's a cursed image at this point.
Because we still haven't got past the curse of page 6. So that still is a variable that that I'm crossing my fingers for. Okay, let's try to wrap this up.
Okay.
6. We're at 6.
6 colorists.
We still have a lot of
guys.
colorists. Oh my gosh, this might be more than we thought.
It's in the span of like 2 or 3 months.
Okay, so now I think we're Rain.
Yeah, then we got to Rain.
Okay, Rain is brilliant. He's brilliant. Brazilian colors. He is brilliant. Go to my my Instagram. There's a poison ivy that he colored and a cable that he colored. They're brilliant. They are absolutely brilliant. So we also, I think we waited a week, because I think he went on vacation, so we waited. We had a week of downtime before he gets started on it.
And he was swamped with work, because I think he does a lot of work for
Marvel.
The Big Two. Yeah.
Yeah, he's brilliant. I don't know what happened, but he just finally turned in 2 pages that I think we just looked at for about 5 seconds and just cringed. And I'm sorry, Rain, if you're listening. I never got back to you. I need to get back to you. Some of this stuff is so hard for me because I don't know how to tell people, like, thanks but no thanks. It's a really awkward place to be. And if we're going to keep these create-our-own ventures going, I'm going to have to learn how to do that. But it's really hard because I've been on the other end of that. Like, it's not quite what we're looking for. Thanks but no thanks. And then how do you work it out financially? Do you give a kill fee? I'm just saying this right now. Traditionally, Marvel and DC, if they don't like something, they don't pay kill fees. I
think kill fees are a courtesy of now.
Yeah, I think a kill fee is at the luxury or at the judgment of the individual. So I think traditionally in this industry, kill fees don't exist. I try to honor things and give kill fees, but sometimes I don't always do that as well. So wait, so that's 7.
Yeah, and I think, like, obviously I don't know this, but it seems like he was probably just not dedicating time and, like, a lot of effort to it because he had so many projects he was, like, booked for, and this is, like, an indie book, and he probably didn't prioritize it, so... That's
a good call. Yeah, because I think his Marvel accounts were keeping him very, very busy. So, and to his credit, he said, well, what price range? So I took a medium-high price range with him. So maybe I wasn't paying his top rate, so I wasn't getting the top work from him.
And E says that, Art, you should just call them and play a sad trombone sound to all of them. That's it.
That's my trombone. So wait, okay, we're still on Rain.
7 people.
We're still on Rain. Okay, so who followed Rain?
Did we have another person, I think, in between?
Okay, I think we're catching up. I think now we're hitting the territory that...
Romulo?
No!
Why do I keep thinking of
because Romulo came in and colored that beautiful piece, that Black Widow piece.
That's right, in between. He's really good.
Yeah, he's coloring a lot of Rob Liefeld's pieces now, too. He's really, really good. So, once again, go to my Instagram, and there's a Black Widow piece up that he did the color for.
So, was it then that we reached out to Kyle Ritter?
Oh, yeah! Here's the Kyle Ritter part. Thank you. Okay, so now this is 8. And...
he didn't F us over or anything. So
No. He's just part of the epic tale. Yeah. No. Kyle's a great person. He's a great artist, and I must say that I think Ethan spoiled him a little bit on Cyberfrog because when we asked him his rate, oh my gosh, his page rate was astronomical.
He is in demand right now, you guys. He's gonna be busy, I think, with Cyberfrog for a long time.
For a while. So he was very loyal to Ethan and Cyberfrog, the Cyberfrog project, and he did come down on his rate. I mean, because I told him, I said that's not a going page rate in this industry, and he said you're right. And so we negotiated a rate, but then he said he had to check with Ethan, and I think they just kind of did a general consensus that I think he would just be too busy to do two projects at once, because Kyle still is he hasn't done a lot of work professionally, so I think he didn't want to overbook, even though he really did want to do the book.
He was so cool about it too, because he was just like, oh, I really want to do it, but like I can't because of time constraints, but I can try to find you a colorist.
Oh, that's right. He did say that.
He offered. He was very nice about it.
And so now we're at 9. Oh my gosh, this is way more than we thought. This is 9. This is going to get into double digits, guys. I hope you're enjoying this epic tale of color woes. Okay, so now 9 brings us up to last night.
Oh, yes.
And this is the ultimate
slap in the face.
I'm trying not to say bad things or use profanity. Slap in the face. Okay, so what, for the last 2 weeks?
So I think it was after that you reached out, because you guys are kind of, and I guess I don't know if we want to name her or not, you guys kind of saw, we did a whole video showcasing our colors and what we thought was going to be the colors for the entire book.
So the colorist, I'll just say names since we're kind of saying names.
They're gonna know. I mean, they saw the other video.
Yeah, he's not gonna want credit, so this will probably be the last time I mention him. But it's Brian Miller. Brian Miller is a great guy. He really is a great guy. I have nothing to say bad about him. And he did kind of leave us in a bad place. But once I tell the story, maybe we'll understand. I'm still trying to come to terms with some of this stuff. But we all have to walk our own path. We all have to do what we believe in. So I don't blame him for that. But we're only 3 days. Obviously, you can see we're 3 days out from this thing going live. So we had the whole campaign. It was all hinged on Brian Miller. And if you don't know his company, it's Hi-Fi Color. So they do great work. He's a top-notch professional. He was turning the work around in a good, timely fashion. He was taking our notes well. He was plussing some of the notes. I can't say enough about the good work he did. However, I believe, this is where it gets weird, I believe in my heart of hearts, and Taylor does too, that he knew about Ethan, the Cyberfrog stuff, and Mitch's Red Rooster, and Mike's Lone Star, and even the Diversity in Comics, what was his, Jawbreakers. So I think he knew about these things, but I don't know how deep he knew about them, but he did know that these things were setting the world on fire with...
In the least, he knew that there
was,
in the least, he knew that there was a number of indie books in Indiegogo and that they were doing really big numbers. We can at least agree on that, I think.
Yeah, so to what detail he knew about Comicsgate, I don't know. But anyway, he colored 6 pages up, and we were working on notes on 3 of those, but three of them we had signed off on, and I had sent him the cover, which we will be showing later on in this feed here. But he then sent me an email, and he was kind of coy about, hey, Art, do you know who you're lining yourself with? These guys, I talked to some friends in the industry, and they warned me that these guys are on the up and up. Here's where we get controversial. These names, they boggle my mind. Calling, Ethan, Mike, and Mitch, and everybody else involved with this new paradigm of publishing, he said that the industry looks at them as Nazis. What were some of the others? Bigots.
He said the people that are aligned with Comicsgate are basically they're anti-woman and they're like basically calling them Nazis. So they were like
fascist.
Yeah, they're like pro-white and they're racist and basically just saying that the whole group is problematic and that he was worried that if Hi-Fi aligned themselves or associate themselves in any way with Comicsgate, or if, you know, he basically said it as like a warning, like it seems like Art, if you associate yourself, then you could lose a lot of fans.
Yeah, he said, you know, Art, I just want to let you know that if you align yourself with this new paradigm of publishing and this great new way of, I know those guys are all envious of this. I know in my heart of hearts they're all envious and they want to be part of this. They just don't have the guts to be part of this whole thing. And that's okay. But he was saying it more like, hey, buddy, you know, do you know that these guys might not be on the up and up and they might be whatever? And so I had to fight with myself how to approach this because I don't want to be a reactionary. I don't want to be a guy that's just like, you know, you don't know what they are, you know, blah, 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 and just get in the guy's face. I didn't want to do that. And Brian was being exceptionally cool. So, but I knew what he meant. What he meant in the email is that he's going to back off, but he wasn't saying it. He kind of wanted to hear what I had to say. So, to be honest, I didn't feel the need to defend my actions or the actions of Ethan, you know, and all the other Comicsgate guys. I just felt like it is what it is. You're going to do what you're going to do if you believe that we all have hate in our hearts and that we're all a bunch of pigs and not, I don't even know what Nazis mean. Like if you just listen to some of the videos, there's never any talk about like that we're Nazis and there's never any of that stuff. I mean, I think there's two fundamental problems, if I could back up for a minute. And they were early on. And I think Ethan said something along the lines of some kind of off whatever joke about Nazis or something. And I think that Zach, our boy, said something very derogatory about a woman. But I think, at least in Zach's case, it was meant as a joke, and he also publicly on Comedy Central,
yeah, and on his own channel,
he apologized. And I just, you know, my wife and I, we have a little girl. Well, she's grown up now, but we always taught her it's like you're going to make mistakes. You're going to say things that are going to hurt people's feelings. You will do that because we're all human. But it's what you do afterwards. It's how you take responsibility for your actions and what you do after. And I don't know. I mean, Zach went publicly and apologized. And it seemed like it was heart and hand. It seemed like he was sincere. And Ethan and all the other guys have kind of denounced what he did. They're not backing it. They're not saying, "Oh, what he did was amazing." They're not supporting that kind of behavior, and nobody supports anybody's bad behavior on this. And to keep in mind too, we're all individuals. So what one guy does doesn't mean that we all do it or all believe it. It's just an act of one guy. And both those guys that are the only strikes against this whole movement is those two guys, which have both said they acted inappropriately. That, you know what I mean? Like they wish they hadn't done it. So I don't know what else you can do as a human experience. What else we can do? Like we do things, we hurt people's feelings, we say bad things, you know, but then we try to make things right. And I don't know what else they could do, you know, but it doesn't seem to be enough for some people. They want blood. You know what? I don't even know I'm not even sure what they want. You know, if they want Ethan just to die, if they want Zach to die, I don't know what they want, but they seem like they're pretty hell-bent on destroying those people and destroying what we've created here or what we're trying to create. I'm still a newbie in this whole thing. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's a bizarre turn of events. Do you have anything to add, Taylor?
I think it's just there's a lot of fear-mongering going on right now, and I get, like you said, you know, you're not gonna overly, when it comes to Brian, like if he doesn't want to be a part of it, that's fine, like he did, but it just sucks that he left us kind of in the timing that he did. But I do understand, like, there's kind of a lot of fear mongering going on in the industry right now, and these people are kind of telling everybody to stay away from Comicsgate and giving thinly veiled, at least we know in the past, they've kind of given thinly veiled threats to people in the form of warnings, like, oh, you might lose work. So I totally get people's motivation to not be associated.
Yeah, so there's subtle and not so subtle hints that are laid down that people should stay away and not be associated. I'm an individual. I'm a human being. I'm a person. I have, you know, over 30 years invested in this industry, and I have 30 years of friendships in, you know, with people in the industry. So I hope they judge me based on being an individual and not being part of this collective, because I don't judge those people based on alliances to Marvel, DC, or whoever else they're working for. I realize they're individuals and they're just working for a paycheck. I don't hold them to any higher, you know, I don't hold Brian to a standard based on like DeDito's public and private and political leanings, or Jim Lee, or any of these other guys. I don't hold them to that. So why do they hold all of us to like the political leanings of two people in this group? It's, or three people or whatever. It's asinine. It's really retarded. But anyway, so long story short, yeah, we got an email from Brian. He quit.
He got scared off.
Yeah, he got scared off. He got bullied, basically, by the industry, and he quit it was yesterday.
Yep.
So we're in the lurch 3 days. That's why this is so fitting. We're left high and dry in 3 days. And there is a savior, and I'm hoping he will be the savior for all this. And I've worked with him in the past, and I've known him for a long, long time. So here's where we start. So this will be 10, right?
Oh my gosh, number 10.
So Brian was 9, so this will be 10. Oh my gosh, this is double digits.
The fate of this book rests in the hands of colorist number 10.
Of number 10. Okay, and this is a controversial fellow, and he's also not weak at heart. Like his conviction is legendary. Just go to his Facebook sites and stuff like that, and you'll see he lets everybody know exactly how he feels. And
strong opinions.
And he's strong of nature too, or strong of
heart.
Yeah. So we had a long talk yesterday, and the guy I'm talking about is Snakebite, and Snakebite is a legendary colorist. He's one of the early pioneers at Image Comics and Extreme Studios that was basically helped pioneer this whole digital thing. Also, since we're talking about coloring, the original colorist on black and white was Steve Olif's studio, Oli Optics. And Oli Optics were the first digital color house. I think one of the first big projects they did was the Akira Marvel relaunch of the manga.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this guy was pioneering the digital. He saw the writing on the wall, and so I know that I know I'm starting. There's too many people to keep track of. I know that Snakebite was a big fan of those guys, and so I was very fortunate to be able to partner with with that group early on. So this is 25 years ago. So this is the whole, you know, color revolution, the digital revolution that was happening. It was basically spearheaded by Extreme Studios and Image Comics. So I think Spawn was colored by Steve Olif and Oli Optics.
Ooh.
I think, yeah. So this was like really early stuff. So I had a heart-to-heart with him last night, and one of the real reasons I didn't even go to him at the beginning, because he was also involved with Black and White 25 years ago, and I'm hoping we'll have him on this channel because he's a fun guy and he's very opinionated. So this chat will heat up when he's involved. But um, we had a long talk, and he had colored. He and I had some grand plans early on to do black and white. This was before Ole Optics got involved, and we were talking about doing a hybrid because he does these great marker drawings, and we actually absolutely loved Lynn Varley's coloring. Lynn Varley did Dark Knight Returns, and she did some of the coloring on Frank Miller's Daredevil. I can't remember. It was like a coffee table size book. It was hardback. Was it Daredevil Lives or Elektra Lives? Maybe it was Elektra Lives. And I think it was all hand coloring. And I like that hand colored look. Steve Olaf also did early hand coloring over a lot of Howard Chaykin's work, and he did Mike Mignola's early work on that Cosmic Odyssey for DC, which was brilliant. Oh my gosh! So these guys, I always liked that hand color look, and I liked some of the digital aspects because you could do digital effects, glows and things like that you really couldn't do as effective with hand done stuff. So I had an idea. What if we did Byron's color guide style? Like I said, these were marker drawings. They were beautifully rendered. They were so amazing. And then we scanned those in, and then we digitally augmented them over the hand-done stuff. So it would be a little, because at the time, computers couldn't really do organics. They didn't have those kind of texture maps and stuff that they have now, or texture brushes. So it was very, very crude stuff that computers could do. So it was very technical. Everything looked very robotic. So I thought as a blending of the two styles could be very, very cool. But I was also working within Rob Liefeld's Extreme Studios, I guess, business model. So I didn't have full reign to these guys 24/7, and I didn't really have the okay to pursue these things and to move in this direction. So it fell apart pretty quickly. So it didn't happen. But it's a dream that when I was talking to Snakebite last night, that we both still have. And so I keep wanting to use his name, so I'm writing down Snakebite. So what we did is when we were talking last night, he brought all that stuff back to light, and he had colored a black and white piece. If you go, you know what we should do? We'll post that on Indiegogo, and I'll post that black and white piece that he did on the black and white site, so you guys can see what you're gonna just a glimpse of what you're gonna see in this book. And I'm hoping, I have no reason not to think this, but since I've been burned 10 times, I have to say hoping with crossed fingers, because we put a lot of hope in Brian and Hi-Fi. So I'm hoping that he'll come through on this. But we'll post that stuff so you guys can see it, and let me know what you think, because it's brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. So he has the cover right now that he's coloring, and we're hoping to be, because he's booked. All good people are booked solid. So he's booked, but he's going to try to get it done. I'm hoping he'll get it done before we launch this Indiegogo. So this whole thing is going down to the wire, guys. So I was hoping to have more artwork, like finalized artwork for you to see, and at the very least the cover. So the cover is probably going to be debuted Thursday night, maybe earlier. At the very least, you'll see it for the first time on the Indiegogo page. So yeah, so we're working with Snakebite now. So the big reveal is Snakebite's on for the 10th colorist on this project. Final colorist, we hope. Yeah, like I said, I want to be confident, but we were very confident about Brian too. So I don't want to overstate it. So I still have a lot of hopes. I know he'll do a great job, but we've been burned so many times, you guys. I can't tell you how tired I am. There's always stumbling blocks with these things. I haven't done a lot of these type projects, but there's always kind of one thing that inherently is the bane of your existence. And if this is the bane, then I'm hoping that it's in the rear view and that we'll be done with this and that we can move forward on this project, and give you guys a great book, because that's ultimately the goal, is to, give you guys a great product that you'll be happy with and that you'll be entertained by, and that Taylor and I and my wife will be very proud of, and Snakebite.
MK says, Art Thibert, that's just insane that your colorist got scared off.
Yeah, I was warned. Ethan warned me. Mitch warned me. Mike Miller warned me. And I knew it was inevitable, but I really thought that Brian understood what he was getting into. And I just don't know what my responsibility is. Like, do everybody I work with, do I have to put a disclaimer on? I don't think that's my responsibility. It's like, when I work for DC or Marvel, they don't forewarn me that, they could be in chapter 11, or, that the editor's a racist, or,
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So I just don't know how much, early warning has to be attached to, just talking to talent to try to get them involved with these books. I don't know what my responsibility is. Right now, I'd say, they're all adults and they're big, they can make these decisions for themselves. But I don't know. Maybe I should start. Maybe I should start. Everybody I talk to say, I'm hanging out with Nazis and and whatever else.
So just as a recap, because I know there's some new people that are in the thread, we were just recapping that we've been through 9 different colorists since this project started. We're on number 10 now. Our final colorist, Snakebite, which we just announced, because our previous colorist, Hi-Fi, dropped out due to, I think, some social pressure from the industry and warning him about association with Comicsgate.
Yeah, we're all tired. We've been up late nights trying to get this thing done, so we're gonna slur our vocals. Our language is gonna be a little sloppy. We haven't been drinking though.
No,
not yet. Okay, so I don't know. Do you want to add anything else? Do you want to do our debut, or should we read some chats?
Let's see. There's still a few people in the chat. I know a lot of people wanted to know your opinion on the Joe Q recent freak out, but I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure how much I can actually say, because Mike Miller sent me a link, and so I'm not really up to date on the controversy, so I'm not sure what to say. I could imagine the way it went. I'm sure Joe had some very outspoken finger pointing and name calling to do. I think the industry is a little scared. I think they're scared of you guys, actually, more so than us. I think they're scared that you guys, I want to call readers, I am not really comfortable with fans. Players are starting to come over and to go to a different store, basically, and to support and to put their money into other projects, creator-owned projects that we, because a lot of these guys that are working have been, multi-decade veterans of Marvel and DC. So, I think they're afraid. I think they're afraid of more people from Marvel and DC coming over to this new business model, and I think they're afraid of losing a lot of fans. Quite frankly, I think they believe that there's only one pie and that there's only so many pieces to go around.
Snakebite's in the chat right now.
Hey, Snake, we just gave you a big plug, brother. So I also hope to get Snakebite on the program. Like I said, he's a colorful guy. He's very outspoken, and he's a brilliant talent. And I'm sure there'll be places that we disagree on, but I think overall, just like all the Comicsgate guys, I'm 90% on board with everything that they say, and I may be on board with even more of what Snakebite's opinions are.
Winamp says, Snakebite, does the page 6 of black and white scare you?
It should. Yeah, I don't know if you heard Byron. Oh, I'm sorry. I was not supposed to say your name. I was trying to be personal. Snakebite. There's a page 6 that is a splash of Whitney's face. And so far, out of all the 10 different color, well, out of the 9 different colorists that we've had so far, none of them been able to nail this page. So I hope you're up for the challenge. Other than the curse of the colorist on this project, page 6 is also a bane in Taylor and I's existence. I'm hoping that will be all. That will be all the trouble that we encounter on this project. But yeah, so we gave a big shout out to Snakebite coming on. Check out all his social media. Like I said, he's a brilliant talent, and Snakebite, if you want, tell people, because I'm not sure where they can see your work, where the best place to see your work is. So maybe if you could post a link or send us something, we'll post a link to that so people can get familiar with your work and see what your stuff's all about. I think he's got an Indiegogo, and I believe I know he's got a Facebook site. I'm not sure if he's up on Twitter. He does other things besides just coloring. He's multifaceted in his talents. And yeah, so I don't know if I can say any more about him other than he's brilliant.
People are praising him for being brave enough to take on the job under mounting SJW pressure.
Yeah, I don't understand. It feels like the world's on fire, and I understand some people feeling pressure and not wanting to be involved, but the big decision making for me to do that, because I was Brian Miller, I don't know, 2-3 months ago, is that I just didn't want to live in fear anymore. I felt like all my social media, I had to watch what I say. I had to toe a corporate line. Even though they weren't, they were verbal about their beliefs and what they wanted, but I knew that my views sometimes were contrary to their views. So I knew if I said anything, not even standing up or making a stand, if I was just to seem even marginally not in step with them, that I could be crucified. And I didn't like that fear. I didn't like that place. And here we have this chat that goes beyond what you guys see, and we're cutting each other up. We're making jokes. We're talking just like normal human beings. We say what we feel. We might not all be in agreement, which we're not, but we debate it. And then at the end of the day, we still respect each other and go on. The thing that I don't understand now is if I voiced my opinions publicly, I would be crucified, and then I wouldn't be respected. They would seek out to destroy me. And I just don't understand that. I mean, the world is based on opposition. Most good things come out of opposition. 2 parties, 2 people, 2 political ideas, whatever. If there's 2 people that respect each other and come from different points of view, and they do truly respect each other, they listen, and then they try to come up with some kind of solution based on the 2 ideas, or the 3 ideas, or the 4 ideas. Let's not limit even that. And so the thing I don't understand is, like, why would any human being want to limit to one point of view, one party, one president, one whatever? It doesn't make any sense to me. The world just isn't that simple. It isn't that
black
and white. It just isn't. There's certain things that are black and white, and we do touch upon those in the story, in the remastered story, but once again, it's a comic book. It's a wish fulfillment story. Life just isn't really that. And good ideas can come from anywhere. Good ideas can come from rich, poor, male, female, any kind of ethnic group, religion, political, leanings. Good ideas can come from anywhere. It's what we do with those ideas. It's how we communicate. It's how we come together on these ideas that matter. And the thing that in my 56 years on this planet, I've never seen this kind of division, open division before. And the reason I would say I'm more right leaning now than left is because the left talk in absolutes. They talk in forms of destruction. They talk in forms of, if you have a viewpoint that's in opposition to them, then they label you and they call you names. And then they try to get you fired, or they try to do permanent damage to you. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm talking to you guys now. That's why I'm publishing through Indiegogo. That's why I'm lining myself with the talents that I'm lining myself with now. And I've taken chances before. I left Marvel and DC to go to Image Comics. That was a big risk, and I just feel like this is a risk, but I do feel that this is the new platform. This is the new way of doing comic books. We're bringing these comics right to you guys. We're bringing the comics right to the readers. So having said that, you can obviously hear the passion in my voice. I think we should think about wrapping this up. And
messages are lighting up right now.
And Snakebite is sending me me all kinds of stuff, so I'm sure I'll be posting those things later. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Yes, I know. I won't use your real name. I'm sorry. I slipped. And I know. This is your cool code name.
Should we show him?
Yes. Yeah. Shut up, he says. Yeah. So I guess Byron tells me to shut up. Oh, I'm sorry. Snakebite told me to shut up.
Stop reading those.
Stop reading those. They're messing my head up.
Anyway, you guys, what we're getting at is we put everything on the line for this. So
yeah, come out and support. We're 3 days away. So we're going to do the countdown. We're going to try to be a lot more YouTube oriented. So we're going to try to be coming up with more. I know. Snakebite. So I probably just screwed the pooch with Snakebite here. But yes, I'm sorry about that. So yeah, so we're 3 days away, and we're going to debut the cover right now. So let's go. Here we go. And here.
This is the cover.
This is the cover, guys. This is it. Yeah, this is the cover. This is amazing. Finished it the other day, and let me blow up on it a little bit. So this is the new redesigns. It's a little hybrid of the old costume and kind of like a costume that I've been playing with for the last couple years, and then a whole brand new costume or uniform that I came up with. So it really is a hybrid of the original 94 book and the new remastered version. So there's Reed Blackett, aka Black. Let's go close.
Yeah, give him a close-up look.
Yeah, it's X. He's a X spy. I think I'm gonna close those Facebook next time because Byron. Oh. I'm getting my head messed up here.
Here, wait, hold on one second.
Yeah.
Let me do something.
You're making this worse, Snakebite. You're getting in my head.
We got this Facebook
tab open.
The alerts show up in the corner and it's super obnoxious.
I'm not saying that you're obnoxious, Snakebite. But
no, but we have that happen in multiple streams
yes.
with multiple people.
Yes. You don't know how out of my wheelhouse I am right now, so please, everybody, forgive me. Yeah, so here's Black. I think he looks frickin' awesome, and he has his weapon of choice, his non-lethal.
Pixel says, I like the change to the tunic look.
Yeah, like I said on another chat, I believe I was really inspired by Walter Simonson's Manhunter. And he had a full tunic, and as a kid I always thought that was cool because he had all these weapons that were hidden in there, like the big guns and throwing stars were mounted on the tunic and all this cool stuff. And so I always liked that idea. And I think it fit the 90s, but things are a lot more streamlined. So it's a little bulky. So in the new story, we actually have a reason for the transition from the original 94 suit to this suit that you're looking at now. So I think it's really, really cool. And there's a really new, like, sci-fi, like, twist to the new suits as well. We hint upon it in the Indiegogo video that you'll see in a couple days.
Excited.
Yeah, but I'm not going to spoil. It's part of the new design and it's on their face. So I'm not going to spoil that until you guys actually read the book, because I think it's really, really cool. I'm a big sci-fi fan, and I like the way sci-fi fits into comic book, like superhero type stories.
Let's just say the marks they're purposeful.
Yeah, they're not just decorative. And so let me...
Those techie revolvers look pretty interesting too.
Oh, thanks. And so this is Whitney Sung, aka...
There she is.
White. She's what? What is she, Taylor?
She's angry, driven, and sexy, as a fan put it.
She's angry, driven, and sexy. So yeah, so there's your close-up. And so her weapons are going to come from a very unexpected source. So I'm going to be really excited to share that in the story with you guys as well. Man, I almost got emotional there. The staff means so much to me.
Pixel says she looks a bit more innocent in this picture than when she was strapped to the bed in the psych ward.
And she's going to eat Reed's face. Yeah. Yeah. Well, she's got quite a duality, as does Reed, but I think you're going to see more of her duality in the story. Yeah, so and then just to hammer the sci-fi kind of angle. This is like a future tense story, so this isn't a contemporary story, so this is a little bit in the future. And so there are going to be mechs and robotics and stuff like this. So this is the villainous mech that they have just defeated for the cover. So yeah, I can't wait to see this thing colored up. So here you guys go. Here's the cover. So we're going to keep moving forward, and we're going to keep trying to get the best comic that we possibly can to you guys. And I hope you enjoy it. And tell a friend. We're going to launch, and we're going to go live in 3 days. So that's Thursday, right?
Thursday, yes.
The 13th. And I'm hoping it'll be a lucky day, lucky 13, because it's also my wife's birthday. So I think as a great birthday present, if we can get some good numbers up on that day and sell a lot of books, I know that'll make her happy. So thanks, guys. This has been a little bit of a long one, but there was a lot to cover. So thanks for your time. Thanks for tuning in. And was there any parting shot, Taylor?
This is day number 3 before Black and White goes live, so stick with us as things go down, and make sure to follow the links in the social media, like and subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications.
Yes, thank you guys, and have a good one. Have a good day.